Hey guys, my name is Carissa Wright, and I am a broker associate at Beach City Brokers here in Redondo Beach. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the things that you should know about living in Redondo Beach. Redondo Beach is located in Los Angeles County, and it's conveniently located just about 6 miles south of LAX. So if you travel often for work or personal reasons, it takes sometimes like 10 to 20 minutes to get to the airport, maybe 30 if there's traffic, but pretty close to LAX, which is awesome. There's a population of about 67,000, so it's a good sized city or town. And there are two main areas in Redondo Beach, and this is what locals refer to as North Redondo and South Redondo. So North Redondo Beach is located inland. There is no direct beach access from North Redondo. However, there is really great freeway access in North Redondo. You have access to the 405 and the 105. And if you are local, you're familiar with where the 405 takes you up down Santa Monica, down to Orange County, and the 105 takes you more inland towards maybe the 110 to get up to downtown LA. So really great freeway access. If you don't work in the South Bay, a lot of people like to live in North Redondo because of the freeway access. There isn't beach access, as I already said, but you are immediately adjacent to Hermosa Beach and Manhattan Beach, and those both have full beach access. Depending on where you live in North Redondo, you can most likely walk into Hermosa or into Manhattan. If you don't have walkability, then you can always hop on your bike. Electric bikes are really, really popular here. You can get to a lot of places on your e-bike. So a lot of people who live slightly more inland definitely invest in making that happen. Hermosa Beach and Manhattan Beach are both really great. There's a ton of walkability. You've got restaurants and shops, all sorts of things to do. So if you are living in North Redondo, you do have really easy access, as I said, to those two cities. And there is some shopping in North Redondo as well. There's coffee shops and restaurants and some smaller stores. So there is a little bit of everything in North Redondo. In terms of real estate, North Redondo tends to be a little bit more of a high density living area. It wouldn't be defined as high density, but just compared to South Redondo, I would classify it as being slightly more high dense. There is a mixture of single family homes, townhouses, and condos. And there are a lot of what we refer to as two-on-a-lots. Now, these are either attached or detached townhouses, and typically there's 2 units. This happened because the lots in North Redondo are actually a really good size. They're about 7,500 square foot on average, and developers came in and started buying these lots and building 2 houses on them instead of 1. So there's a lot of two-on-a-lots, but it makes for a really great entry point with a larger home. You can get a good size, like 2,400 square foot house with 3 or 4 bedrooms, and you're paying, maybe low 1 millions. So that's a really great opportunity for someone who needs more square footage to get into the market. There's a couple other areas in North Redondo where there's single family homes, and we refer to those as tall and skinnies. And these are small lots. So these lots were about 2,500 square foot on average, and you have a single family home, but it's built straight up, hence the tall and skinny. So there's a lot of neighborhoods in North Redondo that have these Golden Hills and the Golden Triangle most specifically. And again, this is a great option for someone who does want a single family home. And a lot of these houses actually have really great access to Hermosa Beach. So usually there's pretty good walkability from the neighborhoods that have the tall and skinnies. So let's jump over to South Redondo. South Redondo is adjacent to the beach. So South Redondo has a large amount of beach access. And on the flip side from North Redondo, there is not really good freeway access from South Redondo. So some people don't prefer South Redondo because it can take you about, I would say, 10 to 30 minutes to access the freeway from South Redondo. If you live in the South Bay and work in the South Bay and you're not commuting, then this may not be an issue for you. So 10 to 20, 30 minutes to the freeway access. With that though, there is really great walkability in South Redondo. You've got King Harbor and you have the Riviera Village, and both of these are full of restaurants, shops, bars, all sorts of really great things. And so a lot of people like South Redondo because there's a little bit more walkability, especially because you have the beach access as well. King Harbor, as I mentioned, it is a recreational and commercial harbor. It's really great. Lots of restaurants line it so you can go sit and eat and look at all the boats. There's also a lot of water activities there. You can do stand-up paddle boarding. There's boat rentals. You can do whale watching out of South Redondo, out of the King Harbor. So a lot of great water activities happening as well. South Redondo is also really close to PV, Palos Verdes. So Palos Verdes is fantastic because it has stunning views, but there's also a lot of hiking trails and golf courses as well. So if you're into outdoor activities, South Redondo is a really great prime location, having access to the beach, a lot of walkways lining the beach, boardwalks, and then obviously Palos Verdes, as I just said, so hiking trails and golf and things of that sort. So a lot of outdoor activities, a lot of walkability happening in South Redondo. In terms of real estate, as I said before, in my opinion, South Redondo is a little bit less dense compared to North Redondo. So you also have single family homes, condos, and townhouses. However, the single family neighborhoods are more prevalent and the lots are larger. So I would say on average, lots are around 5,000 square feet, but sometimes you can have one that's larger, you can have some that are smaller. That's just about the average. And it's great because you've got more yards, and some of the homes actually have really fantastic ocean views as well. When you go west of PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, it's a little bit more high dense. You have a lot of oceanfront condos and townhouses, but if you want to be oceanfront and you don't want the property to maintain, there's a ton of great options where you are smack in the middle of it, right there on the water, just crystal clear skies and blue water all day long. Other things to know about Redondo Beach. So a lot of people move to Redondo Beach because we have one of the top school districts in the entire nation. Fantastic schools. So it's really great because there are 8 elementary schools and every single one of them is ranked as an A+ according to niche.com. So you could pick anywhere to live in Redondo Beach and you know that your kids are going to have a really great school experience. Prices might be a little bit high in real estate, but you're not having to pay for private school education. So that's a little bit of a balance. There's 2 middle schools. So whether you're in North Redondo or South Redondo, there's a middle school in both areas. In North Redondo, you have Adams Middle School, and in South Redondo, you have Paris Middle School. And then there is one big high school for all of Redondo Beach. And it is located in South Redondo, but students from both North and South attend. And it is Redondo Union High School. According to niche.com, Redondo Union is ranked number 1 as the best school district. Sorry, not Redondo Union, but Redondo Unified is ranked number 1 for the best school district for athletes in the nation. So that's really fantastic, especially if you and your family are into sports, your kids are into sports, really great opportunities there. Weather. I think that this is the last and the most important thing to notate about Redondo Beach. Yeah, I'm wearing a sweater today because I'm always cold, but I'm pretty sure, let's see, it's November and I think that it's going to be mid-60s today. So weather is fantastic. Temperature typically varies between 50 and 75, and that's on the year as a whole. We have an average of 280 sunny days a year. So it's always really nice and beautiful. We get a lot of gray skies, mostly in the late spring and early summer. So you will hear locals calling May gray, June gloom. We have a couple of cloudy months. The weather will still be nice, but it'll just be a little overcast, especially in the mornings, usually in the afternoon. As the sun goes across, it tends to burn off and get clearer. And then there's only an average of 32.9 wet days annually. So we don't get a ton of rain. It's pretty dry most of the year, but we love rain. Everyone gets super excited when it happens because it is so rare. And obviously living in Southern California, we have a little bit of a water shortage. So we don't complain, we love the rain. It doesn't happen very often. So the weather is really fantastic. I mean, you can have beach days year round. Definitely going to the beach and laying out in January when all of a sudden it gets 80 degrees out of nowhere. Then it'll cool back down for a little while. But the weather is pretty even keeled. It's really nice and sunny and beautiful. Great place to raise a family. And a great place to just live, you know, maybe if you're retired and you want the temperature to stay the same most of the year. So those are the things that I think are most important to know about living in Redondo Beach. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me, Carissa Wright. Thank you so much for listening.